Hello, and welcome to another Tiny Brains podcast. My name is Peter Graham, and I am the Brigadier of Brains. Normally, we'd introduce my colleague, Kevin Joyce, the CEO of Tiny Brains, but unfortunately, he's not here today. So you've just got me introducing some of the best news stories from the previous week. So let's dive straight in and see what's been going on over the past 7 days. And to begin with, we have the LG Meta partnership. Now, this was something that was announced back in February earlier this year, and it saw Meta and LG combine their forces. LG's prowess in building tech and Meta's prowess in all things VR to come together and build some sort of new headset. But recent reports from Korea have suggested that this may no longer be happening. Reports have suggested that the collaboration is now finito, with LG putting a pause on it completely, saying that there wasn't a synergy between the two companies. So they have decided to stop completely with their with working with Meta. Other reports have suggested that it's not so much a complete and utter cut-off, it's more of a slowing down. They're going to just evaluate and see where they go. So Meta may still be involved. So at the moment, take all of these reports with a bit of pinch of salt because it was only originally officially announced three or 4 months ago. So we'll have to wait and see. One thing that we do know is that LG are going to postpone their headset, whatever form it was going to take. So it's now gonna be looking at about 2027. So, wow, we've got a few years to wait until we see what may or may not come from this partnership or lack of partnership. Moving on, let's talk a bit more about Meta and the Meta Quest. One thing that gamers have wanted for years is Discord integration. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to be coming anytime soon. Years back, users found code in Quest's firmware that suggested that Discord integration was going to be happening for the headset, but nothing has occurred. And it's seemingly just gone by the wayside. Well, last week in an Instagram AMA with Andrew Bosworth, as he likes to do every so often, someone asked him about Discord integration, and he responded by saying, "Talk to Discord." Essentially, they would love to do Discord integration. He alleges, but it's got to come from the Discord side. So he's suggesting get on your keyboards, contact the Discord team, and say, we want this, get it going. Of course, VR being niche, Discord may not consider that a high priority. They may want to see bigger user numbers first before they would even consider a native app for a headset like Quest. But, if they build one app for Quest, would they build another for other headsets? It's a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on again, more Oculus. It's more Meta news, and this is Oculus Go. Oculus Go, you say? Well, this a headset that was discontinued in 2020 and only had a lifespan of 2 years. Well, it turns out users are still loving the headset. Well, that's probably a niche in a niche, but yes, there is still a user base that is using Oculus Go, and they have been reporting that some of the free apps and paid apps are no longer usable. They're getting a pop-up saying entitlement check failed, and then they can't use their apps at all. So that's a bit of a sting for those still trying to eke out some life out of the headset, which originally launched in 2018. Oh, that seems a while ago, doesn't it? So yes, Meta have basically responded and said, mm, you know, refresh your headset, restart it, and if that doesn't work, well, sort of tough luck. They're not supporting it anymore. The Go store was frozen in 2020, so there's been no new apps or games since that date. And in 2022, Meta completely stopped any security updates, bugs fixes, or anything like that. So there's been nothing new for the headsets for at least 2 years from Meta and 4 years from the rest of the community. But it turns out there are still people out there using it. And, it was a 3 DOF headset, so Meta really, really wants to move away from that and move away into the 6 DOF market, fully immersive. But, Go did have a place. It was very friction free. It did only have a pointer. You can't move around with it. But it was great for locations. It was great for organizations. Like you saw them a lot in museums and places like that where people could just pop on a headset and view an interactive, video or a short experience, very informative. You could just point and click on certain things. So if there are a lot of organizations out there with an Oculus Go, they may find that that's becoming less and less viable and will have to move to Quest. Our next report is a bit more gaming related, and it's for Sin Studio. Sin Studio are the team behind Swordsman VR, which has been a long-running combat title. It's all very physical, using swords and shields to fight AI characters. Swordsman originally launched in 2018 it's 2020 for Steam, and then came into App Lab in 2022, and then an official launch in 2023. But the announcement is that Sin Studio has managed to raise 2.5 million in funding recently. That means that they can now develop their game in earnest, their next game in earnest. So this will be another combat title, but there are a few additional. They're taking a different route. They're going to go PvP, so no AI characters. It is all going to be one-on-one with other players, and also it's going to be free to play. So you'll be able to just download it and start fighting straight away, easy peasy. What we don't know is the name of it, what the combat's going to be. Is it going to stick to swordsman's old school medieval style of fighting with lots of swords, shields, arrows? Is it going to be something new? We don't know anything about this. Still very early stages, but it's great news to hear that there is still investment to be found in VR, and VR studios are still finding useful investment, because over the last year or so, we all know that studios have shut down, and there's been a lot of negativity in the video game industry because of a lot of closures, not just in VR, but in across the world, in for, covering every single studio imaginable. Thousands and thousands of jobs have gone. So a little bit of investment here is a good thing. And last but not least, we always like to end on a game, so it's Warhammer. In particular, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine VR, Warriors of Avarax. So that's a bit of a mouthful. Essentially, this is an announcement by Zero Latency, who, if you've ever been to a zero latency location, specialize in location-based entertainment. So this is going to be some sort of 30 minutes experience where you might be able to go in as maybe as one. I would expect it's going to be multiplayer, because zero latency games are always multiplayer. But what you can expect is that you're going to jump into the shoes of a Space Marine. Most notably, it's going to be an Ultra Marine, so the guys in blue, and you're going to be facing off against the Tyranids in an all-out epic battle. This ties in with Games Workshop's recent launches of the new 40,000 box sets, which have been Space Marines against Tyranids. So this nicely combines together for all you Warhammer fans out there, whether you're a 40k fan or even if you're like an Age of Sigmar fan. This should be something fun to get into. We haven't seen any gameplay just yet. There has been a teaser trailer, which has been action-packed as you'd expect. But at the moment, all we know is that the launch is going to be in October this year, and exclusively at zero latency locations. So something to look forward to at the end of the year. And that is your lot. That is the roundup for last week. So thank you for watching, and contact us on the social links that come at the end of the video, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you very much. Hopefully with Kev this time.